Following the Los Angeles Lakers making a huge trade for Mark Williams and it being blocked, the shocking truth has been revealed behind the reason that this trade did not go through. We're going to break down this report and discuss what it means going forward as you now have clarity as to why the trade was blocked. This has Lakers fans upset, fired up, and most importantly, confused because the Lakers are now without a starting caliber center. We're going to break all that down in this episode, but before we get into it, if you're part of the 86% who aren't subscribed to the channel, we're on the road to 11,000 subscribers, and we're getting very, very close. So if you aren't a part of that percentage, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for continued support. Okechi, this is ridiculous. I had a video about an hour ago, hour and a half ago. Our dreams are, we still have Luka Doncic. We'll take that. But we have some information surrounding Mark Williams, and shout out to the Lakers, medical staff here. Shams came out and revealed the truth, and he came out and said Mark Williams failed his physical with the Lakers because it showed multiple issues, and the team failed him on the exam. The physical was not failed due to his back. Lakers say the Mark Williams / Dalton Connect trade has been rescinded. So, Keshi, we do have some information about what we think that the injury is, which we'll dive into, but Mark Williams is not going to be a Laker. Dalton Connect is, and that's going to make for some interesting and awkward conversations.
Interesting and awkward is right though, but I'm just more confused on the fact of like what was going on in the Hornets' mind. If you were gonna trade out here damaged goods and not let the Lakers be aware of it, because trades happen all the time, and even happened with one recently with I believe the 76ers and the Mavericks where they got one of the Martin twins, and he was gonna be injured for a couple of weeks, and they knew about that beforehand, and they were totally fine with that.
Yep.
If he got this information beforehand of like, oh, he isn't all the way fully healthy and it's not just his back. Maybe the Lakers are more fine to deal with it. Maybe the Lakers even keep some assets back because they were giving up what, a first round pick and a first round swap and Dalton Connect. Those are like one for sure is a good prospect because we already seen it with Dalton Connect, but then those are two very high valued assets the Lakers just gave up for Mark Williams because they're assuming that they were going to get a center for the next, let's say, 5 years because of what that guy could possibly bring. But now we're just sitting up here like, okay, now we have to sort of like re-scramble, but the trade deadline's over, so it has to be within the buyout market or maybe within even the roster. So just a lot of questions I have for the Hornets, but just more upset about that team. Rob did all he can. I'm not really blaming Rob Pelinka here, but it's just really annoying. Yeah, that's probably the word I would use, annoying, that this trade was nixed.
Yeah, not only is it annoying, I mean, they don't have a starting caliber center, and the trade deadline is over, so they can't go out now and get a starting caliber center, at least in the trade market. And I'm seeing some Lakers fans trying to speculate a little bit. You think back to late January, a couple of weeks ago, he missed 4 straight games due to a left foot injury management. Now, he played his last 3 games with the Hornets before the trade, so all signs are pointing to him being healthy. Shams came out and said that it wasn't his back. And you have Ramona Shelburne here saying teams do not like to cancel trades, especially those as significant as the Lakers' Charlotte trade for Mark Williams and Dalton Connect. But LA gave up a lot to get Williams. They needed to feel confident he'd be healthy enough to be their starting center for the next 5 to 10 years. After a thorough evaluation of his health, they were not. So clearly someone was doing, I guess the Hornets tried to pull a quick one here on the Lakers, and it'll be interesting to see how healthy he remains for the rest of not only this season but his career. Obviously, we all hope Mark Williams is going to remain healthy and that he has a fantastic career. But it's very interesting now, and as people start to speculate, and again, he seemed the fact that it isn't his back, which most people thought due to some speculation, is interesting. You have to assume now, due to his at least other injuries this season, it's probably something to do with his left foot. Now, whatever it ends up being, it doesn't really matter for the Lakers. It matters is they caught the Charlotte Hornets, I guess, trying to trade damaged goods, or at least, I guess, for the Lakers, they did a thorough investigation and physical here to make sure that they were getting a healthy Mark Williams, because you're giving up not only Dalton Connect, but some very valuable picks. But the Lakers are kind of screwed now when it comes to a starting center.
I mean, they really are, especially in the short term. I guess in the long term, this is a good
Yep.
thing because they'll still have assets to trade, say come draft day, because that's like the first time you can really trade these first round picks. But now the Lakers are gotta scramble. The good part I would say about this in the short term is like they had some things working for them with their small ball units. Jackson Hayes has been playing a lot better, and hopefully we'll see what happens with the big man they have left on the roster. But none of them fit that lob threat, that shot blocking type of build.
Yep.
It's just Christian Wood and Maxi Kleba, and those guys are more stretch fives than anything. So the Lakers really have to find a way to work. They have been playing good basketball, so that is a good thing in the short term. But when it's all said and done, I do think the Lakers in the long run would be happy about this. But in the short term, this is just a really sucky situation. But we just got to, I guess, find out what we can see in that buyout market. But then another thing that we're missing with this trade is Cam Reddish, who was traded away in this. He was essentially traded away to open up a roster spot. Now he's back on the roster. So now the Lakers are at 15 roster spots, and now they have
They're
to
getting rid
cut
of someone.
somebody. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, get rid of somebody. Whether it's Cam Reddish or it's Christian Wood, they have to get waive a player in order to get another player onto the roster, and this also limits the amount they can give out in the buyout market because I think before the trade it was about 3.8, and now it's down to 1.8 they can offer in the buyout market. So that definitely changes things for a lot of guys who maybe are looking for a different team. So just really bad situation with the Lakers in the short term, but in the long term, I do think it would work out for the Lakers eventually.
Yeah, I mean, in the offseason now, that opens them up to, quite frankly, making another blockbuster trade for a center. That's where this is going to go, and it's going to be in the offseason, and maybe it'll end up working out. I mean, it is the right call, clearly. As upsetting as it is, yes, this season is very important. They're trying to go all in and win, but if the fact that they nix this trade is going to be better for the long term, and they have the assets now to do so. And Dalton Connect's going to factor back into the lineup. We were talking about the buyout market needing shooting. They lacked it a little bit. You have your shooting now, hopefully, with Dalton
Hmm.
Connect, but man, oh man, people are upset saying they knew Mark was hurt, called Rob first. Let's not forget that as a detail that's interesting here. Obviously, you're not going to get a second from the Hornets. It's not going to happen. But
No.
the Hornets called Rob Pelinka first and wanted to initiate this trade. So I'm not going to go out and say that the Hornets were maliciously and intentionally doing this, but clearly we all knew what the injuries were like for Mark Williams. But it's also interesting that some reports came out following that night when they made the trade that he was healthy and that things were going to go well and the Lakers did their due diligence here. And this was from Bobby Marks. The trade was a conditional on Mark Williams and Dalton Connect reporting and passing a physical. Because the deadline has passed, the trade was not allowed to be amended. Williams goes back to Charlotte, Connect and Reddish to LA. The draft conditions were a 2030 swap and a 2031 unprotected first. So the Lakers get that back in return. And now you have to go ahead and make a move in the buyout market. But regarding the offseason, they're going to go ahead and hopefully make a trade. They're going to for a starting center. But in the
Hmm.
meantime, we better hope they go out and get somebody else. We saw Alex Len waived earlier as well. Like there's a lot of different pieces that are moving here. And I believe Alex Len was picked up by the Pacers, but that may have not fully gone
Yes,
through.
yes, yeah. Alex Len was picked up by the Pacers, but like there's been other guys like I've seen James Wiseman, which is not that great, Mo Bamba, but it's not they're
Bamba.
not really they're not really great names out there in the buyout market. But they kind of have to do something to get that shot blocking lob threat that they've been looking for to really help facilitate those pick and rolls with Luka Doncic and LeBron James.
Yeah. Let us know down below what your thoughts are. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, as if this trade deadline couldn't get any crazier. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It just got even crazier this time for the first time in a negative light regarding the Lakers in the short term, but in the long term, they will be okay. Let us know down below what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.